Cool. Hello. Thank you so much, Tay, for having me, for also Peter, also Steve, also Spaces. Before I get started, I just wanted to do a little scene setting, if you will. For the last couple of years, a portion of my practice has been writing monologues and different voices for different characters as a way of sort of confabulating my own stories and my own experiences and exploring them in different ways. So today I have a monologue that I've written for one of those characters that I figured I'd bring to you to hear. The character is named Buck. You don't really need to know too much about him, aside from the fact that he is a bow hunting target in the shape of a male deer. And where he is today in this particular monologue is a therapy session. It's his very first one. So, without further ado, Buck. What's up? What's up, dog? Just kidding. I know that that's not really what this whole thing is about, you know. This whole sit down, get cozy, open your heart kind of thing. I'm not really supposed to ask you questions or prompt you to share. It's supposed to be me that does the sharing. And I'm not trying to mess with the system. See, I came here because I wanted to. Not because anybody made me, but you'll have to forgive me my little joke, my little resistance, you know. See, this kind of stuff, well, it doesn't really come easy to me. They don't really teach it to us. At least not to me, they didn't. But I'm doing my best, I promise. Just for you, Doc. Just for you. It's only polite, I guess, since you made the extra mile and you busted out this big old fancy machine of yours. Remind me again how it's supposed to work. You know, I've heard of these things before, those EMDRs or whatever, with all those flashing lights and replayed trauma. This is just like that, right, Doc? Sure it is. All I gotta do is wear this thing on my head and then start talking, and that's supposed to help. All right then, Doc. Whatever you say. Where do you think I should start? Oh wait, don't tell me. Wherever I feel is best, right? Well, I guess we can just cut straight to it then.
Doesn't matter really how I found that out. Could be any man in a thing. Maybe I got a personal handwritten note from God under my pillow telling me that they had been gone for some time. And then maybe I should take myself to the doctor to see what there was to be done. And maybe I just caught my own reflection and realized that I couldn't remember the last time that they were there. I was pretty careless back then, though I can't say that I'm much better now. I just had information, and I guess that makes all the difference. Anyway, the thing is, even if it was just a regular morning, if nothing that changed my life would have happened, I think I would have remembered it anyway. See, I had these red curtains long years back, and I hung up in that room with those white walls. Those white walls, it really made it seem like I could stay forever. You ever seen them just plain white walls? Anyway, that morning, you couldn't even see an inch of white. The way the light from outside was coming in. See, I woke up at just the right time, just the right moment to see the sun lining perfectly with my window, and the morning light passed through those bright red curtains. You wouldn't believe it, but in that moment, that whole room was such a deep and bloody red. That color, the way it seeped into every nook and cranny, staying in things, even though it was just temporary, just a trick of the light. In that moment, I thought that everything would be red forever. I think deep down, my body knew that there was something wrong. Something wrong with my antlers. You may not know what I mean by that. That's okay. That's okay. The way a man feels about his antlers is a particular thing. It can never be just one. Just one thing. But I guess for the purposes of this particular recollection, I can tell you a little bit about my antlers, or at least the version of them that I lost. Now, I know it's not a character, at least what you may see of me at the surface level, but I'm going to talk with some more emotionally abstract terms here. Because again, a man's relationship with his hormones is no simple or straightforward thing. I think maybe the best way here for you to understand is for me to tell you really what all I ended up missing when I realized those horns were gone. You see, I guess I hadn't really appreciated that before then. Taking very much for granted these things that my body made naturally. I didn't have to worry about anything, cause something in me that could protect me. But when I realized that something had changed, well, I guess I never really thought about death like that before. Never perceived myself on a sort of timeline that was doing anything besides counting up. Realizing now, well, that really, I think it might be counting down. And really, it's always been counting down. But now that my hands were gone and these holes out of the picture, there was a real coming to it. And those antlers had been gone just long enough for that to really start settling in that morning. And I think that's why my body woke up so early. It wanted me to see that red, to remember that strange, solitary, blood-colored morning, to give me a clear indication that there was something on the horizon that I needed to be awful careful about. You know, I really did think that I'd be stuck in that red room forever, but obviously that's not realistic. You can't actually stay in one place. Not forever. So not long after I went and got myself seen to learn about the natural ebb and flow of things, how usually those hormones come back on their own, but given my circumstances, well, let's just say I had options. You know, I'd never really thought about it, being in the circumstances that I was finding myself in. Didn't fully grasp the fact beforehand that now you can just take a little bit and these horns will grow right back. Much simpler than most people imagine. Like pressing a button. You just gotta remember to press it every day. Easy peasy. The thing is though, the boys all look at you strange if you tell them. It's not at this point a necessarily uncommon problem, but it's not one anyone really wants to hear about, you know. Well, at least not any that might implicate them. Yeah, see, the ones who didn't end up with my particular horny problem, well, they're not taking any chances, or at least that's what they think. Funny thing is, a whole lot of us got a whole lot going on with us, and I think there's a lot more blame to be placed than what most people want to place. Things often get the pick and choose treatment, you know. You'll be hard pressed to find someone happy to blame a cancer patient for smoking. But you can't say, well, I can't say at least that people have been so common in my circumstances. Fair is fair, you know. Cause I think I felt the same way before my shit fell off. Better safe than sorry, I told myself. Of course, I wasn't very safe. But don't let that think that I'm so, you know, I think about that morning every now and again. Mostly just remembering, because at this point there's no way to forget it. Not really. Not after all the things that's changed. Even if in the day to day, it's really a small change. I won't lie. I do think of other changes though. Other ways that my life could have gone after that. You know, moments like that. When you do the right thing, the responsible thing. Choose the path of life, good, because obviously that's what you're gonna do. Those moments always stick in my brain. Something about knowing how you could just as easily choose the wrong thing. Be the wrath of God, the karmic debt collector for somebody else. Go fail. Lose yourself to pheromones and impulse. Really lean into that little piece of rock that you've got taken up in your veins. Sure, there's no greater good that comes from that. But even though I've always said to that greater good, the greater good really does seem to be having a rough go of it lately. Maybe nowadays, obliteration for the sake of pleasure ain't that bad a way to go. The thought of it certainly still turns me on. But don't worry, Doc. I'm just shooting the shit. I don't really mean it. I know you're not supposed to talk like that, right? Especially in a place like this. A place where we really gotta try to put ourselves in the mindset of making things better. Gotta pull out that big brass band and really rally the troops. A little rah, rah, rah to make sure we're all getting through this together. Or at least trying as best we can to. The band plays on. You never have to worry about anything as you can. I promise. I'm straight, I promise. Well, you know what I mean. I'm finding my part, finding my way, the way of life after, or the way of life before. Never really could tell the difference. Anyway. Enough about me. I think I've given you enough help. Maybe too much for this session. Why don't you go ahead and take this thing for a spin?